What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to give you guys the much desired tutorial for the tube top. So let's get started. Now, before I get too far into this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more crocheting content. Okay, so the original tube top, this is my original pattern. The original top is done in cotton yarn. This is the yarn that I used. You can buy it at Joann's, Michael's. It is just regular cotton yarn. It is a bigger roll than like the little teeny tiny cotton rolls you can get, and it's a little bit softer. I don't remember the specific brand, but it's cotton. So if you are wanting to use cotton for this tube top, you're going to use a 4 or a 5 millimeter hook depending on the thickness. It should say it on the package when you have the yarn. So yeah. Now I am going to be showing you guys this tutorial. I am not using cotton yarn this time. I am going to be using some loops and threads yarn, so it's thicker. So I'm going to be using that yarn for this just because I have not made a thick one yet, but it is the same concept, same idea, so let's get started. So this pattern is really quite simple. I do have a written pattern for it, but there isn't much you need to know as far as how to do this. So when I made the original top, I basically started with a chain, and I kind of like measured around my body to see how far I wanted it to close in the back, because the back of the top is open. That part is fully optional. If you want a completely or almost completely closed around top, obviously you're gonna chain more. But really the only thing you're doing in this is you're going to start with an initial chain, and then you're going to decide whether you want a very tightly crocheted top or you want one that has, gaps in it. So if you want something that's tightly crocheted, you're going to be using single crochets, and if you want something that's a little bit looser, you might be using double or triple crochets. So I'm just going to start by making a chain. I try to make it about 65 stitches. 65 stitches is usually good if you don't want it fully closed in the back, if you want to have it open in the back. So I'm gonna make that chain and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so here is my chain. It's a pretty long chain. This one isn't going to be quite as open in the back just because I am using thicker yarn. If you are using the cotton yarn, like I said, 65 is going to give you 65 stitches is going to give you a pretty open back. So if you want it more closed, definitely add more stitches. Yeah, so this one's going to be, like I said, this one's 65 stitches, but I'm using thicker yarn, so it's going to be more closed off in the back. So I'm going to do my best to show you guys this, but then I take my chain. So let me see if I can. Okay, I take my chain and I just wrap it around to see how far around it's gonna go, and to make sure it's where I want it to be. So the chain, how many stitches you put in the chain is completely up to you and how far around you want it to go. So I am gonna chain one extra stitch just because I'm working back down the chain. So this is gonna be 66 stitches instead of 65. So we're gonna chain that extra stitch, and then we're gonna skip the stitch that we just chained. So we're gonna skip this first stitch right here and go into the second one, so that should put us back at 65. And me personally, I want a tighter crocheted tube top versus a looser one. So I'm just going to go back down this entire chain with single crochets. So I'm just gonna put a single crochet in every single one, and I will see you guys when I am done doing that. Okay, so this is the end of my second row. This is what it looks like. At the end of this row, since we're going to be working back down the same side again, we're going to chain one just so it doesn't get off at the end. So it usually just helps it stay straight on the edges if we chain one. So I chained one on this side, and then I'm going to just flip it and work back down this side. So you're not going to be working down the bottom chain at all. You're just going to keep building off of your previous row. So that being said, after this, you're just going to continue for as many rows as you want, as far as how big you want the tube top to be. So if you want a tube top that's this wide and just covers here, then that's what you're going to do. If you want a longer tube top, you're going to make more rows, but you are doing single crochets or double crochets or whatever stitch you're wanting to use. You're just repeating it over and over and over again until you have your desired length and size. So that is the majority of how to make this tube top. As far as the back goes with the ties, I will show you guys how to do that when I am done getting the actual top for as big as I want it. I will check in with you guys every single row so I can show you what it looks like, and then when I'm done I will show you guys how to make the back ties. Okay, this is my third row. Okay, this is row number 4. We got a good start going on. Okay, this is row 5. This is row 6. This is row 7. This is row 8. Row 9. Row 10. Row 11. Round 12. Round 13. Or row 14. Row 15. Row 16. Row 17. Row 18. Row 19. Row 20. Row 21. Row 22. Row 23. Row 24. Row 25. Row 26. Row 27. Row 28. Okay, I'm only doing 28 rows for this. Like I said, if you're using smaller yarn or you want it to be longer or shorter, your rows are going to be different than mine. So you might not have 27, you might have 37, or you might have 20. It just depends. So yes, I finished with my 28 rows. In the last stitch of my last row, I'm going to single crochet and I'm going to slip stitch just so I can tie it off. Make sure when you're tying off you leave a long enough end that you can weave it back through. Okay, so now that we have the piece done, we are going to make the ties. So you're gonna have a total of 6 chains. I chain between 40 and 50, but you're gonna have 3 on each side of the opening. 1 at the very top corner up here, 1 in the middle, so however many rows you did, cut it in half, and that's where your next one will be, and then 1 in the bottom corner, and this is going to be on each side. Alright, so starting in the corner, I am just going to make chains. I'm just going to make a chain of 50, 45, however long you want them, where you feel it can tie tightly enough around your back. So I'll meet you guys back when I'm done with this chain. Okay, so my first little row of chains on this side is done. Now we're gonna find that middle row. So for me it's row 14, and I'm gonna put another chain in there, and I chained 40 for this one. So like I said, it might not be 40, it might be 30, it might be 45, 50, it doesn't matter, just you're gonna make a chain in each of these areas. Okay, there is my second chain done. Now I have 1 more chain on this side in this little bottom corner stitch here. I will say, when you attach your chains, so when you're attaching the yarn to the front piece that you've already made, make sure you secure it. I like to tie knots on the inside. I know that's not professional and clean looking, but I like to tie it on the inside so you make sure it doesn't come undone. So, okay, so I have made my 3 little chains on this side, and now I'm going to repeat the same in this corner, the middle stitch, and the bottom stitch here, and I will see you guys when I'm done with that. Basically all done with the top. This is what the back should look like, and then I just tie the back in bows. So I'll tie them in bows real quick and show you guys what that looks like, but that is the whole process. Okay, and there you have it. There's the front of your tube top, and there is the back. So I hope this was helpful. I will put out a written pattern, and I can also do another tutorial if this one didn't make sense. But I've had a lot of people ask me about it, so I was just trying to get it out there. But yeah, I really do hope this was helpful. It is a super, super easy, fun project, great for summer. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to check out my other tutorials if you enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!